Hey guys, it's Elon from Inside Fighting, and after 26 plus years of doing martial arts, I tried Systema for the second time. Tried it many years ago, and I gotta say, this time kind of blew my mind a little bit. And man, oh man, I know the comments are gonna come flooding in. How much Systema sucks, but hear me out. You're gonna like this video, trust me.
Pow pow, inside fighting, yeah, dangerous martial arts. Pow pow, ooh ah.
All right, so before I jump into Systema, visit InsideFightingStore.com, like and subscribe, do whatever you can if you don't mind to help my channel grow. I really appreciate it. If you buy an instructional and you don't like it, I'll refund you. If you want to rip me off, honestly, you can buy an instructional, you can watch it. Even if you like it, theoretically, you could still ask for a refund. I wouldn't know. I should probably not put that in the video. All right, Systema. Well, I visited Vladimir Vasiliev. Now, if you don't know who Vladimir Vasiliev is, this is Toronto headquarters. Vladimir Vasiliev is probably one of the biggest names in Systema, and this style gets a lot of flack. Gets a lot of flack because of what we're seeing right here. People watch this and they go, what are they doing? Playing patty cake? What are these folks over here doing? Looks like child's play. There's a lot of things I can say about Systema. I'm kind of a victim of that same mentality. I came from very tough martial arts. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Sambo, boxing, Muay Thai, Kyokushin, full contact stick fighting, and Filipino martial arts, just spar heavy, combat sport-based martial arts where you prove yourself by fighting other people. And then there's Systema. And you see this kind of hyper-relaxed, playful, gentle, we're going to like break your limb over here, touch your neck over here. We're going to explore your body over here. And you go, what is this madness? This doesn't work in a real fight. That's kind of the reaction every single person has, myself included, until you go out there and you try it and you keep an open mind. Those are the two things that you need in place to appreciate Systema: an open mind and to try it. Because trust me, when you get hit by these people, you're going to realize very quickly that they hit probably harder than anyone, period, end of story. And they do it from positions that make no sense. Now, as I'm watching this, I'm going to explain some stuff about Systema that I think is very important. The reason I brought up those other styles is because I would describe those styles that I did as hard styles. My body has been tremendously injured over the years. I have torn both my ACLs, my meniscus, my MCLs. I have ruptured discs all along my spine. I've had hard hits to the head that have made me see flashing lights and I hear ringing all the time. All types of terrible things have happened to me over my lifetime training hard martial arts. If there's a yin and a yang, this is the yin to the yang of hard martial arts. This is the soft healing approach to hard martial arts. Now I'm making this, I don't know why I'm on a black screen here. Forgive me, but the next part's coming up pretty soon. It's just right over here. Now, if you look, what I want to say about this is him and I were talking, Vladimir and I were talking, and this is where you get into the benefits of Systema. So this video is going to be complimentary. I'm not here to bash Systema today. I just tried it. And like I said, after 25 plus years of doing martial arts, it's very rare for me to find something that changes the way I think. What he's describing here, what I want to show you is he's describing how when you fight in the street, if you get into a fight stance, you're indicating to the person that you know how to fight and you're giving them a target, your leg, whatever that may be. But when you can just hit and attack from anywhere, from a neutral pose, you are actually training real self-defense. And you notice he caught me in the face right there as I stepped in to hit him. He's just showing how his instinct is to kind of punch you in the face as you step in. But what Systema does is it trains from these highly neutral positions. It trains you from your hands down, just standing there in a relaxed position. It trains you on your knees. It trains you, with one leg up in the air. All these kind of off-balanced, weird places that you would never train if you're doing jiu-jitsu, that you would never train if you're doing boxing. Because in a fight, you don't always get to control, in a street fight, where your body will be when the fight starts. It's not like you're getting in a ring prepared and ready to go. And so that's a very important note. Systema really gives you the ability to hit from anywhere. And we're going to deep dive into their hitting a little later because, again, that is the magic of Systema, their ability to hit. He said a quote here. The reason he's grabbing my arm like this, and I want to really touch on this quote because it's one of the best quotes. He's saying it right now. He said, I practice movement not techniques. Systema's philosophy is completely different than other martial arts. There is no form. There is no real technique. There's almost not a proper way to do things. There's this idea that as long as your body's in a relaxed state, as long as you can remove as much tension as possible, you can generate immense power and you can be very, very effective. Now, again, when you see them training, you think this is stupid, this doesn't work. But when you experience it, you realize that it can have tremendous value because the amount of force they generate and the way they can roll with things. I talk about this concept of stickiness. If you train Filipino martial arts, if you've ever done knife fighting, weapons-based training, even grappling, there's a very important concept. I call it stickiness. What is stickiness? When your and my hand are touching or when our shoulders are touching, any part of our body meets the other part of another person's body, we have contact. Once there is contact, stickiness is the ability to maintain contact without tension. It means Wing Chun guys are interesting with this too, but I've never felt someone have stickiness like Systema people. When you touch their shoulder, they don't move back. They roll your hand with it. When you push on their stomach, their whole stomach envelops inward to kind of absorb. It's this idea of absorbing everything, and then the energy kind of moves throughout your body and comes back out. Now, when you feel it, it's a really interesting thing to practice. I'm going to stop and say this right now, and I'll get back to the video just so there's something going on in the background. Systema, and I apologize that the audio's not recorded. Big screw up over here, which is why I'm doing this voiceover, but you'll still get a lot of the notes that I picked up. And I remember all the quotes from today perfectly. But Systema, in my opinion, is one of the best, and I know this is crazy to a lot of people who hate Systema, it is one of the best supplemental martial arts if you do a hard style, if you do a combat sport. It will change the way you move. It will change your body mechanics. It will teach you to relax in places where you otherwise have tension. It will change the way you generate power when fighting. Now, again, I know people are watching this. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Would I let someone do these moves to me in a live sparring situation? No, I'd have resistance and tension in my body. But that's the exact point. Systema is an exploration. Systema is the playground of martial arts. It's the place where you go. Let's say you're in school and you're spending all day learning. It's the place you go at the end of the day to let loose and say, okay, well, let me now put into practice in a fun way without fear, without tension, everything I learned throughout the day in school learning. Sparring in jiu-jitsu, sparring in boxing, sparring in kyokushin, I don't care how much people say to relax, there is tension in the movements by the very nature of fighting. And when you come to here, the entire approach is flipped on its head. The entire approach is to play, explore, zero ego, find fingers, find wrists, find the point on the body, understand human structure. And one thing that I can say that these guys do incredibly well, and this is just one of the things they do incredibly well, is that the second your body moves a millimeter off its structure, meaning if my neck turns, and here he's showing it. See, my hand came in too close. He grabbed my finger, so I went for an arm drag, and he's already just rolling with it. He has my wrist again. There's a constant exploration and movement. This will help your grappling tremendously. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, if you're a sambo guy, supplementing this will help you. I'm not saying this should be your primary system. I'm not saying Systema in and of itself is, in my view, a complete self-defense system for that. It is an incredible supplemental system. I think for some people it can work as a great singular system. For me, I see it as this way to, again, take everything I learned in jiu-jitsu, everything I learned in sambo, everything I learned in boxing, Muay Thai, and then come to a place where I can play and let my body be completely free and move. One of the things he spoke about tremendously is longevity. And like I said, I have a lot of injuries. I have torn my ACLs. I have ruptured herniated discs in my spine, all these crazy things. They focus so much on healing. There was a guy there who had torn his hamstring. The doctors told him it would be 6 months for him to train again. He came and he trained, and within 3 weeks, he told me he was able to walk again and train properly. And the reason was because Vladimir has a very good saying. He says that injuries are an opportunity to let your body move differently. If you have a place where you feel safe to do that in combat, then that is a tremendous tool. And that is what a Systema school will give you. You have an injury, you can't box anymore, you can't punch with your right hand, you have an injury in your shoulder. Well, you come here and you play and you figure it out and you learn to move different. Your injury is no longer a limitation, it's an opportunity. And they literally see that with everything. It's even here he's playing. And that's part of the fun of Systema. Now, they also talk about how you train from different positions. Here, he told me start training on your knees, because when you lift up your leg, there's you change your body structure. There's more tension. It becomes harder to do these things. So we're just playing. Again, now, am I resisting? No, but that's not the point. If I want to have resistance training, like I said, I'll go to my jiu-jitsu class. I know people hate when you say jits. I'll go to Sambo. I'll go do Kyokushin. When I want to play and I want to explore, I want my body to heal. I want to be able to find new ways to move. I will come to Systema. And if you don't think that is valuable for fighting, you are underestimating the value of these types of classes, these types of techniques, or not even techniques, these types of explorations. Here he's showing me how they absorb impact. Again, I'm not a believer in many things. I hit hard, guys. I don't care what people say. You can ask people who've trained with me. I hit hard. Now, I was tentative to hit him at first. I ended up hitting one of his students very hard, and you'll see there's almost no reaction. But what's interesting is when you hit Systema guys, it's like their body just absorbs in, caves in. And here he's showing me how to do it and how to breathe through tension, how to breathe through pain. And he's telling me, he's like, breathe with a exhale with a he's showing it to me here. And it actually changes the way you feel the pain when your body breathes into the strike. He's still telling me, by the way, to stay tight until later. First, he just wants my breath right. And now he starts hitting me a little harder because I'm getting it. And let me tell you, these shots might not look hard to you. When he hits you, it feels like a torpedo just went into your body. Like I said, Kyokushin, you get hit a lot bare knuckle. There is nobody I have felt that hits like Systema guys, period. Nobody. They have a unique way of generating power. And you will not believe it until you experience it. This alone, by the way, if you were going to go train Systema and you said, the only reason I'm going to train Systema is so I can learn power generation for strikes from any position, I would say it's worth it. Forget all the playfulness. Forget that these people are amazing, by the way. Everyone in this class was welcoming. Everyone in this class was down to have no ego, down to explore movement, down to play. You see, he gave me a nice little shot there, and you could see, and he teaches you how to walk through it and breathe with it. To say that these guys don't know how to take shots and give shots, which is a major part of fighting, you're grossly underestimating them. I really hope that people watching this, if they box or do Muay Thai and end up in Toronto, come to this school just to feel what it feels like to get hit by him. He's showing you can do it from anywhere, leg up in the air. You don't need proper structure. He does it from sitting down. Just boom. It's like a missile hitting you. It's just this incredibly relaxed punch. And again, they even showed me that, like, the way I punch like, let's say, a boxer or whatever it may be, a Kyokushin guy. When you hit bags like that, the absorption is back into your shoulder, back into your neck, back into your body. And I feel it when I hit the heavy bag a lot, especially if it's like one of those harder heavy bags for a long time, the tension is in my body the next day. And you see this with any boxer, anyone who does combat sports. Hitting things hard all the time actually damages your own body. It's wear and tear, but not in Systema. They're so relaxed. They manage to kind of stay smooth through it that you can do these strikes, generate more power, and not damage your neck, not have ruptured discs like I have. And again, they spend a tremendous amount of time, not just on these kind of things, but they also spend a tremendous amount of time on healing your body. And again, don't take that for granted. I'm trying to tell you guys, like, this really opened my eyes today. I really actually love Systema as a supplemental style. I don't say a lot that I would go out of my way to train something, but again, it's so rare for me to find something that challenges the way I move, challenges the way I've been training for 26 years, 27 years, whatever it may be, and says, hey, just try this. It's completely different, and it will complement what you do. It will benefit what you do. He's talking also about here how You want to invite people in. You don't, when you get in a fight, you don't want to be like two deers that are clashing at each other, whatever animal that may be. You want to invite people. This is a good self-defense concept. You want to appear non-threatening and allow people to walk toward you and then kind of just pop at them and hit them. And he shows it right now, right here. Look at this. He's just kind of walking back casually and he's just hitting from wherever his arm is. Okay, you can see he's inviting in. Now, again, this may appear casual. It may appear simple and stupid. It's actually a very good principle for fighting. I actually support this principle of invite people in, bait them. Now, look, you want to talk about being able to take shots. Now, you can say, okay, I don't like your body mechanics for your punching line. I don't think you're punching properly. I don't think you hit hard. I don't care what you say. I'm torquing my hip. I'm throwing closed fists. I know how to throw a punch, guys, and it's not hurting him at all. If you think you can take that punch that I'm throwing right under his solar plexus, and look at that, look at the difference. And if you think he's faking it, I felt it today. He's not faking it. I'm trying to understand it because it's so shocking. But if you think you can take my punch, come to me and I will hit you and I'll be very impressed. I'll put it on camera. I'll give you $100 if you can take this shot right here. Okay, full force like I did as many times as I did on him. That doesn't apply if you do Systema or Kyokushin. Don't cheat. It's Kyokushin, guys, eat my punches, to be fair. But that's because we body condition all the time. And to be fair, even in Kyokushin, it hurts people. Whereas with him, it was like this different thing. It was like an absorption thing where he was just kind of absorbing the punch in a very weird way. So I tried to pick it up. I tried to learn it. And here they're just, again, they're just playing. They're learning to attack from neutral positions. And people watch this again, and this bothers me. They watch this and they go, this isn't real fighting. By the way, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that boxing, as much as you think it's real fighting, is not real street fighting. Muay Thai, as much as you think it's real fighting, is not real street fighting. What you're learning for the street when you do boxing or Muay Thai or Kyokushin or whatever striking style, Sabat, whatever Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're learning isolated skill sets that work in moments in fights. You're learning toughness. You're learning certain attributes, how to hit hard. You're learning conditioning, but you're not actually replicating a street fight. A street fight, and by the way, it says another great quote here, but I just want to finish this. A street fight is not a ring fight. They're vastly different. You won't have gloves on. You won't have a ref. You might be fighting more than one person. You'll be fighting on concrete. There may be weapons at play, things that are picked up. The aggression might start here, this close, and be relentless and not stopping. So, you know, when we're sparring in Muay Thai or we're sparring in boxing, you're not going all out aggression trying to KO the person every time you spar in close, throwing crazy wild haymakers like animals. That's not how you spar. But that is what happens in a street fight. When you spar, you play, you move around, you tap. Okay, there's my counter, there's my cross. All right, so I'm moving, I'm playing. That's not replicating an actual fight. That's not what happens in an actual fight. What happens in an actual fight is the guy grabs you, shakes you in, and just starts doing this to you repeatedly. And if you think your boxing or your Kyokushin or your Muay Thai or your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is replicating that, and that's what you're actually training for, you're wrong. You're training a skill set that you hope can apply to that situation. Conditioning, strength, toughness, the ability to hit hard, footwork, those are all attributes. That's what sparring is for. It's attribute generation. This is another form of attribute generation. It is not meant to simulate a real street fight. It is meant to give you certain attributes: relaxation, under stress, the ability to hit from anywhere, the ability to understand body mechanics, the ability to find opportunities under tension. These are great qualities for street fighting. These are great qualities for survival. The ability to fight from a natural neutral pose that is unexpected. These are all things that you don't cover in combat sports that you're getting in Systema, which are the yin to the yang. So, you know, I don't want to ramble on about this, but I just found it very enlightening. Now, he said something great with the knife. This is the quote I was talking about before, because I talked to him about Filipino martial arts and how we approach knife fighting very different than this. And he said something interesting. He said, the knife is not the problem, he is. So he sees the whole body as the person. The knife itself is carried by the person. If you understand the body's mechanics, if you understand the person's body mechanics, you don't worry as much about the knife itself. which, listen, under high stress, someone really attacking me with a knife, I'm going to do whatever I can to disrupt them. I'm going to go for their eyes, make sure I control the knife hand. But again, the philosophy of it's not the knife, it's the person, and starting to understand the body mechanics, because he also he described how the link of the knife itself goes up to the wrist, to the elbow, to the shoulder, through the body. And understanding those body mechanics is very important. It'll get you to read the knife better. It'll get you to understand how the knife moves much better. And here he's playing around again. Everything ends with playfulness. So I just want to end on this note. I'm not going to give critiques today. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to hopefully open some people's minds up to this trend that has grown in the martial arts world. That if it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai or MMA or boxing or wrestling, that it sucks. And it's sadly causing the death of many traditional martial arts schools, many martial arts schools that have value. And it's very, very, very rare to find something that will challenge the way you move when you've done martial arts for a very long time. Systema did that for me. That's a gift. That's a nice thing to experience. You need to get outside your comfort zone if you're a martial artist. Drop our egos. There's no point in it. And one of the things actually that made Conor McGregor so great in his early days of striking, and I don't care how much people may hate this guy, the guy was magic back in the day when he would strike. The way he beat Aldo, the way he beat Eddie Alvarez. There's just some of these performances are like he's in another realm of existence. If you look at the principles that he brought to those fights, you think I'm crazy. I think those very, very same principles are generated in Systema. I think that is exactly what you learn to do in Systema. To move your body just out of the way, roll with whatever's coming at you, and catch somebody. And the reason Conor McGregor had the touch of death early on in his career when he was so hungry and so good was because of that relaxation. If you look at where he punched from, his body never really moved with the punch. It was just this relaxed motion, and he allowed you to walk into it. It's exactly how he knocked out Aldo. And maybe as he got older and he, went through all the stuff he went through, he started getting tighter in his body, developed more tension. He started boxing, and that's counter to everything that he was doing prior that made him really magical as a striker. I think Systema is something great for Conor McGregor, let's say, to go into to regain that relaxation and that looseness that he had. Anyway, I hope this opens some people's minds to Systema. If you have a Systema school near you and you've been doing other martial arts, I can't speak for every school. I can only speak for Vladimir Vasiliev. They're among the nicest guys I've ever trained with, most open guys I've ever trained with, and an incredibly different kind of philosophy to training. So hope you like this video. Hope you share it around because I really enjoyed making it. And yeah, today was a great day in martial arts for me. Thank you.